They say the desert has two faces, one that shows you beauty, and one that shows you truth. That morning it showed both. Because under the blistering Arizona sun, two Apache sisters ran for their lives, while an angry cowboy on horseback thundered toward them, not to harm them, but for reasons even he didn't fully understand. And that cowboy was Colt Maddox, a man known across 3 counties for one thing. He had a temper like a rattlesnake, fast, sharp, unpredictable. But on that day, his anger wasn't the dangerous thing. It was what he saw in the distance that changed everything. 2 young women, exhausted and stumbling across the sand, chased by men who had no mercy left in their souls. Something inside him snapped, not in rage, but in purpose. Before we continue this powerful story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to channel name like, where every story reminds us that kindness still matters. Colt didn't think. He didn't plan. He simply rode. The sisters, Naya and Kachina, had been fleeing since sunrise. Their tribe had been ambushed, their camp burned, their people scattered. They had run barefoot through rock and cactus, clutching each other's hands so tightly they left nail marks on each other's skin. They expected death. They expected cruelty. What they didn't expect was a cowboy whose anger was aimed at the men behind them, not at them. Colt swung his horse in front of the attackers, raising dust and shouting, "That's enough. They're under my protection now." The men laughed. "You protect Apaches? Don't make us put you in the ground." Colt wasn't scared. He was furious. Not at the sisters, not at the raiders, not at the world. At himself. Because deep down he knew he'd spent years being angry about the wrong things. Land disputes, old grudges, broken promises. Things that didn't matter now, under a fiery sky where 2 innocent women were about to die. So Colt did what his father once taught him. When you see someone in need, son, be the kind of man you won't be ashamed of tomorrow. With quick, stunning precision, Colt fired warning shots that sent the raiders scattering. He chased them off until they disappeared into the dunes, too cowardly to fight for real. Then he returned to the sisters. Naya the elder stood tall despite her trembling knees. Why did you help us?" Colt took off his hat, rubbing the sweat from his brow. Because no one else did. He brought them to his horse, offering canteens of water. The sisters drank desperately, their throats raw, their lips cracked. Colt watched with a strange heaviness in his chest. Not pity, but something gentler. He had never seen such strength in anyone. Even broken by exhaustion, the sisters carried a dignity the desert couldn't erase. As they rode toward safer land, Naya leaned forward. "You saved our lives, cowboy. Why risk yours?" Colt's jaw tightened. "I'm tired of being angry for no good reason. Today, I wanted to do something that mattered." Kachina gave a small, tired smile. "Then today you became a good man again." Those words stunned him. Again? Did she somehow sense the years he'd spent pushing people away? He didn't answer him, but the truth settled quietly in his heart. Night fell as they reached a hidden canyon spring. Colt gathered wood, lit a fire, and gave the sisters space to rest. But the desert wasn't done testing him. A buckskin horse approached from the shadows. On its back an Apache elder, badly injured but alive. Naya gasped. "Grandfather!" The old man slid off the horse, collapsing at the cowboy's feet. Colt immediately knelt, catching him before he hit the ground. The sisters rushed toward them, tears spilling down their dusty cheeks. The elder was barely conscious. But when he opened his eyes and saw Colt, he whispered something in Apache. Naya translated. He says he knew someone would come, and he says the spirits always send the right person. Colt swallowed hard. "Only did what anyone should have." The elder shook his head faintly. "No, many see suffering and turn away. Only a few stop." Colt had no answer. His anger, the thing that ruled him for years, felt suddenly ridiculous. In its place was something else entirely. Responsibility. Purpose. Heart. Up. Through the night, Colt tended the elder's wounds. Naya gathered herbs. Kachina prayed softly in her language. And for the first time in a long time, Colt didn't feel alone. He felt needed. By sunrise, the elder's breathing steadied. The sisters clung to Colt, thanking him with trembling voices. And then came the moment that changed Colt forever. The elder placed his weathered hand on Colt's chest. "You have a warrior's soul," he said, But your greatest strength is not anger. It is the size of your heart. Colt froze. No one had ever spoken to him like that. Not with fear, not with irritation, not with judgment, but with respect. Unexpectedly, a tear slipped down his cheek, the first in years. As he prepared to leave them safely with surviving members of their tribe, Naya stepped forward. "You didn't just rescue us," she said softly. "You rescued yourself." Kachina nodded. "There is goodness in you, Cowboy, more than you know." Colt didn't trust himself to speak, so he simply tipped his hat and rode off slowly, letting the warmth of their words settle beneath his ribs. The desert wind blew gently, almost approvingly, and for the first time in a long while, Colt Maddox felt peace, real peace, not the kind found at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, not the silence after a gunfight, but the peace that comes when you choose compassion over anger, kindness over rage, and humanity over pride.